that time we had very intelligent ambassador who is now heading, he is the president of Jammu Azad Kashmir. So I kept on asking, this technology I need for Pakistan future, this technology for the young generation. And he kept on smiling. And then he said, Minister, you can take all the technology that you want, and you will become a regional power. Give me what you have, and I will become the superpower of the whole world. For a second, I start asking myself, what special do I have? All of a sudden, I realized that he was talking of the young pool that we have in Pakistan. There is 60% between 15 and 45. Today, with the grace of Almighty, our Prime Minister has recognized from day one that young pool can make the difference, not only in economy, not only in technology, but also in democratic norms. Strengthen the democratic norms. We have to give this flag to the young generation. And this country especially is blessed. I think the people who attended last night the variety show, it was the display of mosaics from Balochistan to Sindh to Punjab, Kashmir, and so many other places. The diversity that we represent in Pakistan is not the weakness, but it is the strength of Pakistan. And I'm so glad that you are visiting Pakistan. Young generation has the potential to take this country to the second stage. Look at our parliament. Even in the Senate making of 104, you will find many young, fresh, coming and representing their constituencies. I have been given very limited time, so I'm not going to take your time. And I will apologize at the same time that I will leave exact 10 o'clock since I have back-to-back meetings, and I am so delighted, so glad to welcome you this morning. I will be here till 10 o'clock, and I want each one of you to contribute, bringing our young generation, because in today, just like in the economy you have seen all over the world, that natural resources and location is meaningless. You have the human resource that you want to invest. Look at Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, so many other countries. In 60s we were ahead of them. But look at where are they? They have invested in their human resource, and the young generation came in and they have made those countries to where they are. With these remarks, I'm sure that with your spirit, determination, unwavering commitment at the platform of Commonwealth, once again, I welcome you all. Pakistan, Payandawad.
We'll have a very quick round of introductions before I request the Honorable Chair and the Doctoress. So I request you to just your names and your institution that you come from or the university that you come from. Starting from you.
Professor National Assembly.
I'm Maya Rafiq. I'm also research officer at the National Assembly of Pakistan. Officer at the National Assembly.
Wasim Gohar, research officer, National Assembly. Taha Harun, National Assembly.
And these are in the last 5 to 7 years and very dynamic subject experts. So we are very warm welcome from the whole delegation. Next, please.
Devade from Sri Lanka Parliament and the Chief of Staff of the Parliament of Sri Lanka.
Lalit Kyani from Delhi.
Adhar Project Officer from Pakistan Institute for Parliamentary Services.
Mohammad Maqbool Khan, PG Project Development University.
Research and legislative consultant.
A couple of countries, at least 5 countries, and he was the man I remember who gave us the vision that we should be, as a result, the first institution in the country to have a reverse metering and a solar, that we are contributing 60 kilowatt every weekend to the national grid. Friend of Pakistan also, who has been the linchpin and the energy behind these 3-4 days of delivery. Effective capacity building events, I recall attending as a panelist also. One of his keynote address, I would request Honorable Akbar Khan, Secretary General, Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, to come on the rise. Putting hands together.
PIPS Institute, it's delighted to be here, and I'm really pleased to be back in Pakistan for my 3rd visit. It has indeed, since I've been Secretary General, and we've worked very closely with both the National Assembly as well as the Senate, and also the pastors. So thank you very much for the very warm welcome. I do want to recognise the Honourable Senator Swati, the Federal Voices. Let me start by thanking the Speaker of the National Assembly of Pakistan, the Honourable Kaiser, Mr. Shamim Hashmi, for the very warm welcome and generous invitation to participate in the 5th. At the CPA headquarters, we value very much the participation of all of our branches, 180 branches representing 9 regions of our Commonwealth, comprising 53 countries. All of the branches here in the Asia region are very valued members of our Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, as indeed are those who participate in the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians Network, which is meeting just next door. The Secretary General, please accept my thanks to the Asia region for your participation in the CPA. Your participation as branches of our association enriches and strengthens our bonds of friendship and kinship across our Commonwealth. Report on youth participation in national parliaments. The Interparliamentary Union, or the IPU, noted that whilst people under the age of 30 account for over half of the world's population, they only make up 2% of the world's members of parliament. Additionally, approximately 1/3 of single and lower chambers and more than 3/4 of upper chambers globally have no members under the age of 30. Across our Commonwealth, 60% of our 2.4 billion citizens are under the age of 30. This makes us a young Commonwealth, contrary to popular views. And therefore leaders must hear the voice of youth if democracy is to be nurtured and sustained across our Commonwealth. According to studies done by the United Nations, the most likely recruit for extremism is a frustrated individual marginalised and neglected over the course of his life, starting in childhood. Therefore, the link between political participation and the prevention of extremism is a very important one. Young people do engage in politics, but they rarely do so through formal structures and channels, which means that we, who are engaging in state institutions responsible for making decisions on their behalf, make them more accessible, inclusive to our youth.
It's not KPK. Most of the people say KPK, but it's KB. But you will not say KB also, you will say ever Kumpa. Currently, 64% of the nation is younger than 30 and 29% of our.
Does anyone else want to address that question about electoral policies?
Before Pakistan Tehreek Insaf, the students' wings are only used for only slogans. But Pakistan Tehreek Insaf leadership encouraged are not from the political families. They have no political affiliation, but they were encouraged by the political leadership of our party. They were encouraged.
What do you want to do? Okay, well, anyone else have a second question? Okay. Honourable Shafa, please.
I believe this is a conference where political parties or our local politics should come in. I think it's an international forum where we represent our country as Pakistan more than which political party we hail from. So I'd like to again move on and say that over the last quite a few years, we have politics, and I can enlist those people, which I don't think will be very valuable for this forum. But in the last 5 years, 10 years, we have seen political family, or say that it will not be right to say that it's the first time that the middle class in Pakistan is participating in politics. I believe that Pakistan is
Dubai, and there are so many other European Union, they have their own workshops and seminars. That is a very positive kind of learning process for the youth parliamentarian. This is what I've seen. Very positive. As I said earlier, that we have passed some bills.
It had 6 initiatives. One of them was Prime Minister's internship program, and we invested heavily in that. People coming out of universities for a year would get a paid internship in the National Assembly. One member will have one internee under the mentorship as a research associate, and that actually meant inclusion of quite a large number of younger people in the very, very mainstream politics of the country. Besides that, the Planning and Development Ministry under S.N. Iqbal have introduced a Young Development Fellowship Program that once again exposed young people to the political and the policy-making structure of the country. That was the second initiative. And then thirdly, Speaker Sardaar Ayaz Aziza opened the doors of the Parliament to any educational institute that would like to come and see the proceedings of the House. They would take a tour, and they would meet the Speaker himself personally and ask any questions from the Speaker regarding the House and its proceedings. And lastly, under the Prime Ministership of Shahid Hasan Abbasi Saab, the Prime Minister office opened their house to younger people. Every week, 3 days a week, we had a school or a college that would come to the Prime Minister's personal office, would get a briefing from the Prime Minister, was allowed to ask any personal, political or professional question from the Prime Minister directly, raise their concerns about the constituencies, issues of youth. So we tried to open the doors of these political buildings that once used to have very thick walls to younger people, and we're hoping that these initiatives will be taken forward and rather expanded throughout the country.
Thank you very much. I'm going to give the floor to the head of the
Unity in diversity is crucial for national integration. So my question from any one of the young participants that how you envision the role of youth in creating national integration. Thank you.
Okay, that's an excellent approach to it, bottom up and up to bottom for that matter. When we talk about inspiring young people, perhaps coming towards, despite being a diverse nation, coming towards some consensus or parliamentary consensus, parties agreeing to, including youth in different processes. But when we talk about, or when we look at, how those young people who are, who come into the parliament are being treated, how they are being treated by the young, maybe the seasoned politicians, how they've been criticized for that. There has been lots of discussion about in the last 10 years how they included young parliamentarians in the parliament. But most of the time, even in the talk shows or during the assembly sessions, we have many examples where those young people were ridiculed for not having political backgrounds, where they were not encouraged, where we didn't see the democratic conflict resolution being done at the floor of the parliament and even in the provincial assemblies. These are the legislators who are responsible to create such platforms, not to recommend all the time. We've seen that there are different shoulds and words being discussed here. But I don't know what stops it's been maybe the third consecutive tenure to the sustainable democracy for now. But what stops from creating such platforms, maybe at provincial level and national level, when we talk about creating those, youth parliaments? There was a discussion in a comment by head of PIPS about ban on student unions by the courts. Don't we all know how the courts been twisted during those regimes or dictatorial regimes when such bans were put on? Why, despite having such vibrant political parties, we've not been able to, take this case to the Supreme Court for that matter? So it's not just a matter of, I would say, a problem exists. It's also about the reluctance and willingness, a political will that we clearly see that does not exist even in the major political parties. So maybe it's a time for internal retrospection as well when we come, talk about all these problems. So unless and until we promote critical thinking, unless and until we promote democratic conflict resolution as parliamentarians, both on the House or even during the talk shows and anything that we see every day, I don't think so. There could be a sane behavior, there should be an expectation of sane behavior from their political allies or youth for that matter. Whether it's Twitter, whether it's young people behaving in general or anything from the legislators. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think very strong words were used over here.
And they honored us. Thank you for visiting. मैं समझता हूँ कि काफ़ी डिस्कशन हो चुके होंगे। वो एमएनए साहिबान जो हमारे और एमपीए साहिबान जो उसको भी होना चाहिए थे, खासकर जो हमारे यूथ पार्लियामेंट से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं। बहरहाल काफ़ी नुमाइंदगी है, हाज़िरी दूँ और आपकी जो इस वक्त डिस्कशन हो रही है इसमें मैं शामिल हो जाऊँ। थैंक यू।
Thank you. I'll pass over to Head of PIPS. Thank you.
We'll take the opportunity to declare on behalf of the Parliament of Pakistan a publication on the selected speeches by the first Constituent Assembly. ये पाकिस्तान की उस कौमी असेंबली की 45 बेहतरीन स्पीचेस हैं जो काले आज़म मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना ने So we have a copy of the same for all the panelists. We'll request the Honourable Speaker to now present it to the Deputy Speaker of the Provincial Assembly of Karachi. Followed by the Honourable Speaker, Deputy Speaker of the Provincial.
अपने ज़बान के अलावा अपने ख्यालात को सही तरीके से एक्सप्लेन ना कर सकूं। जैसा कि आज हम सॉरी मुझे नहीं पता था कि मुझे बुलाएंगे तो मैंने मुंह में डाल लिया। हम जो यूथ यहाँ बैठे हैं हम चाहते हैं कि टिक्स में यूथ को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मौका दें, स्पेशली हम फीमेल्स जो इलेक्ट होके आते हैं सिर्फ फॉर्मेलिटी के लिए हमें ना दे दे। मैं पाकिस्तान तहरीक-ए-इंसाफ जो कि 22 साल की जिद्दोजहद के बाद इख्तिदार में आई है, उन्होंने पाकिस्तान से तकरीबन यूथ को पार्लियामेंट में लाया है, तो ये यूथ ही है जो आज پاکستان کو تبدیلی کی طرف لے کے جا رہے. پاکستان اس تبدیلی کی بہت پہلے خواہش مند تھی لیکن یہ تبدیلی نہیں آ سکی. جو یہ تبدیلی ابھی آئی ہے پاکستان تحریک انصاف کی مرہون منت ہے. جو ینگ پارلیمنٹرینز یہاں بیٹھے اسپیشلی گرلز بچیاں ہماری جو آگے آنا چاہتی ہے, ہم چاہتے ہیں کہ پورے پاکستان میں ہماری بچیاں ان کو وہ کوالٹی ایجوکیشن پاکستان سے ملے جو پورے پاکستان میں جا کے پرفارم کر سکے, دکھا سکے. کیونکہ ہم جو اتنے پیچھے رہے ہیں صرف تعلیم کی وجہ سے, ہم ہمارے یوتھ اسپیشلی ہمارا کام یہی ہے کہ ہم فیمیلز اور گرلز کو پروموٹ کر کے آگے لائیں. اگر ہم فیمیلز کو پروموٹ کریں گے تو انشاءاللہ پاکستان میں تبدیلی ضرور لائیں گے. پاکستان تحریک انصاف وہ واحد پارٹی ہے کہ میل فیمیل کو یکساں اپرچونٹی دیتے ہیں. میرے وہ یوتھ جو پاکستان تحریک انصاف کے سپورٹر ہے, سوری مجھے نہیں پتا تھا کہ میں بولوں گی لیکن میں کنفیوز ہو رہی ہوں اس وجہ. جی میں بلوچستان جیسے صوبے سے تعلق رکھتی ہوں. آج میں اس پینل پہ بیٹھ کے مجھے بہت خوشی ہو رہا ہے کہ میں بلوچستان کی نمائندگی کر رہی ہوں, کیونکہ بلوچستان 70 سالوں سے بہت پیچھے رہا ہے, اسپیشلی اس لیے کہ وہاں ایجوکیشن کی بہت کمی ہے. میں ینگ پارلیمنٹیرین میں اس ٹائم کاؤنٹ ہوتی ہوں, دیٹس وائی میں یہاں بلوچستان کی نمائندگی کر رہی ہوں. بلوچستان وہ واحد صوبہ ہے جہاں بچیوں کو قبائلی طرز زندگی میں گزارنے کے لیے تقریباً مڈل کے بعد اسکولوں میں نہیں بھیجا جاتا. ان کو ہیلتھ اور ایجوکیشن کی زیادہ پرابلم ہے. ہم چاہتے ہیں کہ ہم یوتھ کے اوپر اسپیشلی گرلز اور فیمیل کے اوپر زیادہ سے زیادہ کام کریں, ان کو پروموٹ کر کے پاکستان کے وہ صوبے جہاں جن کو ہم ترقی یافتہ کہتے ہیں, جن کو بڑا بھائی کہتے ہیں, ہماری یہ اپنی خواہش ہے کہ پاکستان تحریک انصاف کے اس دور میں پاکستان کو ہم برابری پہ پنجاب کے لا سکے. میں بینگ اے بلوچستانی, میرے جو پینلسٹ بیٹھے ہیں, جو میرے گیسٹ بیٹھے ہیں, ان کو یہ بتانا چاہوں گی کہ پاکستان کا ایک بہت بڑا صوبہ بلوچستان بھی ہے جو وسائل سے مالا مال ہے. لیکن میرے یہاں بیٹھے ہوئے شاید دوستوں کو پتا بھی نہ ہو کہ بلوچستان ایک صوبہ ہے, کیونکہ بلوچستان کو پچھلے 70 سالوں سے نظر انداز کیا گیا. آج میں بینگ اے بلوچستانی اپنے اس پینل سے ریکویسٹ کروں گی کہ جیسے آج ہم مجھے اور بابر بھائی کو بلوچستان کی نمائندگی کے لیے اسٹیج پہ بٹھائے, ہم چاہتے ہیں کہ ہر فورم پہ بلوچستان کو برابری کی نمائندگی دی جائے. ہم بلوچستان کے فیمیلز اور گرلز کے لیے جتنا بھی ہو سکے کوالٹی ایجوکیشن ہمیں چاہیے. بینگ اے ینگ پارلیمنٹیرین, میری جتنی بھی بچیاں یہاں بیٹھی ہے, آپ لوگوں کو سب کو چاہیے کہ آپ اپنا اسٹڈی ٹور بلوچستان کی طرف ایک لگائے. اگر آپ لوگوں کو ریسرچ کی ضرورت ہے, وہ ریسرچ اپنے بلوچستان سے اسٹارٹ کریں, انشاءاللہ کامیابی آپ سب کا ہوگا. تھینک یو ویری مچ.
Every household, and if we educate the girl, he identified this challenge that only a couple of girls they rise more than a middle class to high school. The tolerance and peace in society, because women as young leaders will promote peace and tolerance if they are given education. The second, you share to the youth, and it is the driving force of her party.
The Young Parliamentary Forum of National Assembly, PIPS, and of course the organizers for the CPA. I'm very glad to see that Pakistan is hosting the 5th Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Asia Regional Conference. Okay, today the topic is giving to me is the role of young MPs in enhancing youth participation in parliamentary business. I will try to relate it purely with the real life examples, because I believe that speaking out of the heart is really influential. For those who don't know me, let me introduce myself. I am the youngest parliamentarian of the KP Assembly, and I made it to the parliament at the age of 26. The party I belong to is the ruling party, Pakistan Tehreek Insaf, and it has always set the trends. Their trust over the young blood had gained them with a huge mandate in general election. almost 60 new young faces to the National Parliament, and at the same time 20 new young faces to the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Assembly. Out of which 11 are under the age of 30, and I'm proud that I'm the youngest one. Not ending here, believing in youth empowerment, we have young ministers at the provincial and national cabinets. Also not limiting here, the 3 main standing committees of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Assembly are running by young leaders, social welfare, youth and sports committee, and I have been privileged with the chairpersonship of the standing committee on health. Again, not limiting to this, young leaders have also been given representation in the queen of the committees, that is Public Accounts Committee of the KP Assembly, and I'm proudly sharing that I'm the first ever female member of the PAC in KP. Transitions, most charming is that the seasoned politicians are supporting while keep chairing my health committee.
Obviously, I would like to thank Mr. Akbar Khan, Secretary General, Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, for giving me the floor. And this topic, and the basic thing is, everybody talks about giving. Actually, we need to do a lot of work in this regard. And democracy itself is for the people. And as far as Pakistan is concerned, as many of participants mentioned that more than 60% of Pakistan population is youth-based. And how to make them relevant to decision-making forums, it is very important. And it's all about the vision and vision of the leadership, the current leadership of the country, of any country as well. And when we specifically talked about the South Asia, most of the countries are developing countries, and we have a lot of youth population in those countries. I am a biggest advocate of, as my sister Sumaira Shams mentioned about student unions. I am a very big advocate of student unions. It's a nursery for future leadership in any aspect, not only in politics, in any any occupation, and it helps to build leadership skills, and it helps you to build up and grow up your personality as well. And the most important is, as for parliament and as for to be the part of decision making thing, it's a local government system, to start from local government side. And luckily in this parliament we have more than 70 parliamentarians, who are the members of the parliament who belongs to the youth of the Pakistan, and they are playing their very vital role in decision making. And we have a young parliamentary forum as well. And as far as when we were struggling and for change in Pakistan, currently we have more than 5 to 6 members in our cabinet, who are under the age of 40, who are representing the youth. And the current government have made a program, Kamyab Jawan, setting up a fund of
preventing conflict, promoting peace and tolerance, and building lasting peace by acting as an intermediary between their constituents. Parliamentarians have the ability to build relationship within parliament and the broader equal representation to the different group of a society. They can also take action to address issues of poverty, equal distribution of resources, and economic development, which are often at the root of violent conflicts and instability. Young parliamentarians constitute a small minority of the world MPs, and only 1.9% are under of the age of 30. I would like to give some recommendation to the government, different forums, organization, young people, and civil society. Build legal frameworks to raise the proportion of young MPs, support the political participation of young women within young engagement programs, encourage
women prime minister in this Islamic world. So that speaks volumes. But I think it's a collective effort. It's a collective effort. We have to come beyond political parties to promote peace, to promote tolerance, and that's what the youth of any country can do and support and contribute to not only empower themselves or not only empower the role, their own particular role, but the role of every person who cannot speak for themselves, and that's what democracy is all about. Democracy, when we say, is for the people, of the people, by the people, that really we have to make sure it is that way. Because one thing that's missing, for instance, if we say democracy is for the people, of the people, by the people, but if we do not relate to the common man on the ground, if we are not connected to our own people on the ground, that does not reflect true democracy. So overall, I think I will not take much time of all of you, but I wanted to mention this very strong point and something that I think everybody is affected with, because in every country I can see, I would not blame my own particular country, but I can see everywhere. So media has a very strong role to play again, to promote peace and promote tolerance and stop the hate speeches regarding anybody, regarding any particular political party. And political parties have to act beyond that. And especially those who are in government, doesn't suit them to abuse, malign, accuse, and always throw trash on political parties and opposition. I think the political parties, the opposition members deserve equal respect, as they've been equally elected by the people of the country. And they are here for the people, and they want to do something for the people of their country. So it's a mutual respect, A. B, promoting peace and tolerance. I think these are the keys. I would not take much time again, but I think the people who are more connected on social media, a tool which spreads your word and your message to thousands and millions and trillions of people across the world, let us use that tool for positivity. Let us use that tool for peace. Let us use that tool to promote tolerance in the society. And let us use that tool to show that, yes, we care for each other. Yes, the world is a global village. And yes, we want everybody to respect each other. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our panel presentations. Please join me in giving our panelists a round of applause again as thanks for their contributions.
Commonwealth. But most of the discussion was out of the context, and what I noticed from the few of the many decades, we are lacking of the real leaders, and this is just due to the student unions. Before female empowerment, there was a PPP government, and they were the strong advocate of student unions, but they failed. And now again, the PTI is one of the biggest stakeholder of the youth voters, and I'm not seeing any future of the student unions. I don't know either Mr. Farooq Habib will be able to introduce it, and I don't know the people who is behind this agent, who is stopping the leaders to come in the community. And the other thing I just noticed is that we didn't even mention the gender minority groups like transgender youth, and we didn't even mention about person with disability youth all across the Commonwealth, which need to be included into the youth participation and such roundtables discussion as well. And beside this, social media hate speech is one of the biggest threat to the young people. We need to introduce such SOPs for using social media for the young people so that we can stop such type of problems. And SDGs again is the thing which we really come up together, all the young people of the world and the Commonwealth as well, and we need to introduce SDGs to the young people and to involve them into how we can implement it. Thank you.
Okay, so
I work as a young parliamentary officer at PIPS, but I will be asking the question as a Pakhtun youngster. My question is addressed to Sir Farooq Habib. Sir, PTI talks about bringing youth into politics, and there is no doubt that Imran Khan played a huge role in bringing young voices to the parliament. But at the same time, we see that on the same floor of the parliament, the same young members, they call students who are working with PTM Because I have seen it, I know that a lot of youngsters from KPK are involved in that movement. I see that there are two members of parliament from that movement, and it's a political movement, an indigenous political movement for Pashtun rights. Yet we see that a party that claims that it has brought young voices, which claims that we will strengthen democracy, we see them using the traitor card against them. We see them calling them foreign funded agents. We don't really see them addressing their grievances, going to them, talking to them about their issues. In fact, actually what we see is that non-democratic institutions are at the forefront of dealing with this issue rather than the parliament. So do you think this is how, like, do you think this is how we can like promote democracy in Pakistan, by calling someone who is the voice of dissent as a traitor, as painting them as a traitor on the floor of parliament?
Thank you very much. I really encourage everyone to be as succinct as they can on their questions. So, honourable member here, and then I'll come over to you. Thank you.
जैसे कि पाकिस्तान तहरीक इंसाफ यूथ की सपोर्ट से आई है पार्लियामेंट में, तो इस टाइम स्टेट और रियासत को चला रहे हम। इंशाल्लाह जब हमारी ये इक़्तिदार गुजरेगा तो हम इंशाल्लाह यूथ के लिए कोई ऐसा मैकेनिज़्म बनाएंगे, कोई ऐसी पॉलिसी बनाएंगे जो हमारे आने वाला इक़्तिदार होगा वो टोटली यूथ के ऊपर डिपेंडेड होगा, क्योंकि न्यू जो हमारे जनरेशन आएंगे वो पाकिस्तान को जब आगे लेके चलेंगे, पाकिस्तान के पार्लियामेंट को आगे लेके चलेंगे, तो वो तरक्की याफ्ता ममालिक के इंशाल्लाह बराबर उनको लाएंगे। जैसे कि खान साहब को इक़्तिदार में आए हुए 1 साल हो गए, तो माशाल्लाह इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे उसने पाकिस्तान की इज़्ज़त को बढ़ाया है, और इंशाल्लाह इस तरह हम अपने यूथ को प्रमोट करेंगे और यूथ के लिए ऐसी पॉलिसी बनाएंगे जो आगे जाके यूथ बिल्कुल उससे सेटिस्फाई होंगे। और पाकिस्तान में यूथ को एम्पावर करने के लिए यूथ को चाहिए कि वो हमेशा पाकिस्तान पीपल्स पार्टी, पाकिस्तान तहरीक इंसाफ को सपोर्ट करे। जैसे कि हमारे 2 पार्टियां यूथ को इस्तेमाल करके बीच में छोड़ दिया, इंशाल्लाह हम ऐसे नहीं करेंगे और हमारा जो मैकेनिज्म होगा उससे इंशाल्लाह पूरा पाकिस्तान का जो यूथ है वो सेटिस्फाई होंगे और इनको साथ लेके चलेंगे।
Everybody speaks very high and good of youth. Every political party has it there in its manifesto that they're going to, they envision something good for the youth. They will come up and they will bring some youth policies. They will do something good. But when they get the opportunity, when the political parties come into power, it's their responsibility to walk the talk. No more talk. It's time to practice what they preach. So I believe that young students rightly said that needs to be, we must introduce young politicians, young leaders coming up from educational institutes, and student politics and all these things need to be promoted. But again, at the same time, assuring peace and tolerance. Because we get to see that our youth are more vulnerable to negative sentiments and intolerance because of the political, the role of the leadership of the political parties, unfortunately. So I think it's an overall responsibility, it's a collective responsibility, and it's essentially, I would say again, it's time to deliver. It's not time to just talk. Everybody, all of the members who are over here, I'm sure everybody wants that we must introduce young leaders and promote young leaders. Definitely my own political party has the youngest political leader and leader in Pakistan, and one of the, who is the youngest member of the parliament. But I think it's a collective effort of all the political parties. We have member from the government side, Farooq Habib, and I'm sure, and I expect him to raise the voice for the youth in the government's benches, because they are the one who have to delegate powers to the youth ultimately. Thank you.
I would like to question. First of all, I would like to, we should all focus and force our leadership in political parties, to promote democracy in their own political parties. And the second, the most important thing is intra-party elections, to providing level playing field, to compete for the ranks of the parties as well. And the biggest challenge right now we are having is, the dynastic political system, which we only can counter through, having equal opportunities of, to compete for the leadership ranks. And as rightly mentioned by Naz Baloch, it's a collective approach, which we will definitely have debate and become with some concrete solution as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
The second question is, I think both are asked from me, and I would like to start from the second question, which is directly about, PTM. It's the first thing one must understand is the PTM members are, they have practiced their democratic right, and they contested election and become the part of the parliament. When you become the part of parliament, you have a forum and you can speak, you can talk about your thoughts, your visions, and you cannot go for, extra constitutional measures. Our constitutions is very much clear about it, and they have their genuine demands. We agree with the demands, and we have already, implemented all the demands, like the emergence of FATA with Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And can you imagine, having the first, democratic election in the districts of FATA, which have been very peacefully completed? So one cannot allow you have become member of National Assembly, and you have got a license, to attack armed forces of Pakistan, which are already, part of our constitution. So one should not go for beyond the constitutional limits. Otherwise, the law enforcing agencies has to take the action, and there is no ban on the free speech and sharing their thoughts. The second question was the first question asked by Mr. Kaisar specifically about the student unions. Student unions were, banned in 1984 by a dictator. Obviously, it's a ban on a free speech. It's a ban on, to kill the youth activism. And I personally believe in this, that our youth become apolitical, before that. But the last, I think, last 15 years have played a very much role, and thanks to our media, the lot of student activism and a lot of awareness again come into our youth, and they are much more aware and they are much more responsible now. And when we talk about peace, peace relating to the tolerance. And tolerance is only, we can have only a tolerant society when we have a debate. And from student unions, we can have a positive debate. We can provide them, forum to exchange their views. We can provide them a forum, to share all the things which they want to make prosperous Pakistan and the prosperous world. So we are already, for your information, we have made up a young parliamentary forum in which Naz Baloch and all our National Assembly young parliamentarians are member of it. We are working on a bill which will reinstore student unions. It will take some time. So obviously, we have some challenges. We have some different views about student unions, but we will make a mechanism, and we will make sure we will bring a legal framework where we will have a more tolerant student unions, which will not promote, violence, which will promote, positive thinking, which will do progressive work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Last round of questions. So I'm going to take 3 more questions, and this will be the...
Must be involved in the democratic process of the country. So there is no other, point that I would say against it. I'm totally in favor of it. The other important point that I would like to, should I sum it up? Like all the 3 questions together?
Yes, please do.
The other one was discussed, regarding the polarization and social media, about this, how social media is being used. So I think the usage of social media and the social media code of conduct is very crucial and very essential. Me, myself, being a member of the Standing Committee of the Information Technology, I've always raised this issue in the committee, and I'm making it sure that we work effectively to protect our people from the social media abuse, the social media violence, the social media negativity that's being spread around. And it's definitely, as I earlier said, it has a trickle-down effect. But again, we come to the last point, the last question that was asked about the student politics. Now, here I have a bit of, I do not agree, but with all due respect, that students should, I don't agree that students should be refrained from or barred from entering student politics, because it's not the issue of the students. It is the issue of the mindset of the political parties, which spread negativity, which create intolerance. And it's as I repeatedly I'm talking about the trickle down effect, because political parties have to act sensibly with responsibility and use words very carefully. The selection of the words should be very careful when they're used by the political leaders, because whatever the political party leader speaks, it has an impact on the grassroots workers, and that impact may be negative or positive depending upon the words selected and chosen by the political party leaders. So the responsibility lies on the shoulders of the political parties. We should not bar the students from entering politics. We should not refrain them from entering politics. We must support them and encourage students from coming into politics. But yes, we have to correct ourselves. We the political parties have to improve ourselves and make sure that we do not spread hate. We promote inclusivity. We want an inclusive and a tolerant Pakistan, but it should not be just by words. It should be by the action of the political parties and the leadership. So again, I would say that I always support and encourage youngsters to play the positive role, because these are the mind of the future. These are the brains of the future. Whatever they think, they are very creative. The youngsters, the youth are very creative and they're very innovative, and Pakistan has a good, rich potential student and youth. We have a rich potential in Pakistan when it comes to youth. We can see how wonderful the youth of Pakistan are doing and how positively they are participating and they're playing their role in telecommunication and IT sectors internationally, everywhere where we go. But why within our country we are not utilizing our own youth for positive positive approach?
Thank you very much, Honourable Baloch. I'm happy if you deal with each of the questions as you wish.